is to be continually vetted, unquote. In hindsight, it can be said that she wrote so with deep foresight in her book, The Past as Present, Forging Contemporary Identities Through History, which was published in 2014. The former BJP MP from UP, Satyapal Singh, who was back then associated with the Ministry of Human Resource Development, frequently questioned Darwin's theory of evolution. Officially, they undermine and communalize the education system while endorsing unscientific claims and promoting them publicly, challenging the scientific mindset of society. This is the Sangh Parivar's approach. Using their vast network, they dismiss scientifically proven knowledge while securing social acceptance for misinformation. Through such methods, they destabilize our education system and use it as a cover for their vested interests. In a country where the Constitution calls for nurturing scientific temper, those who assume office under an oath to uphold the Constitution declare that plastic surgery was performed in ancient India. Is this science? Is this rationality? How can such statements align with the scientific awareness and the spirit of inquiry and reform mandated by the Constitution? The Sangh Parivar forces attempt to communalize our education system and saffronize history for two reasons. The first is that looking back at history reveals that the Sangh Parivar has made no significant contributions to the formation of modern India. Instead, they are historically known for allying with the imperial powers to undermine our glorious anti-colonial freedom struggle. About 80% of the prisoners held in the Andaman Cellular Jail were part of India's revolutionary movements, and none of them ever betrayed the independence struggle. In contrast, Sangh Parivar members in the same prison not only refused to participate in the freedom struggle but even wrote apologies to the British, declaring they had never been and would never be part of it. To cover this historical betrayal, they attempt to cloak history in saffron. None of the hands behind the creation of modern India or its secular democracy belong to the Sangh Parivar. We should not forget that they even hesitated to accept both the Indian Constitution and the Indian flag. India is a country of multiple nationalities. Reflecting this diversity, Indian states were reorganized along linguistic lines after independence. Sangh Parivar had no role in this process and later adopted a stance aimed at weakening linguistically structured states. Today, the attacks on our federal structure have heightened through the enactment of laws and the passing of orders. There is a concerted effort to weaken the financial autonomy of the states, even by misinterpreting the Constitution. The call to implement one nation, one election continues this approach, undermining India's federal nature and weakening not only the state but also local self-governing bodies. If the second reason relates to the country's economic framework, the BJP government is aggressively advancing Congress liberalization policies in India. Liberalization policies have negatively impacted the majority of the people worldwide, and India is no different. Many studies show how these policies have led to job loss, the decline of small and medium industries, and the unprofitability of agriculture. Sangh Parivar is using communalism to divert people's attention from those economic challenges, fueling hyper-nationalism for the same reason. This phenomena isn't unique to India. Many parts of the world have seen attempts to divert public attention from economic issues under the guise of ethnicity, language, and nationalism. In India, communalization of education is part of this process, concentrating public discourse on communal issues and diverting it from economic concerns. This opens the education sector to liberalization policies under the cover of these diversions, which the BJP has notably advanced in the national education policy. As we have seen through many examples, neoliberal policies mainly benefit big corporations. Governments coming to power with the support of corporate wealth often use their power to favor capitalist forces, resulting in the privatization of multiple sectors. The NEP is one such continuation, positioning it as a tool for privatizing our education sector. It is against the backdrop of all this that the conferral of the PG National Award on Professor Rumila Thapar becomes all the more significant. I hope that she will continue to stand up for objectivity, scientificity, logic, and reason. May her researches and findings continue to guide generations of students in the future. Thank you.
ബഹുമാനരെ, രണ്ടുപേര് ആശംസാ പ്രസംഗരായിട്ട് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്. മുൻ മന്ത്രി കടകംപള്ളി സുരേന്ദ്രൻ, MP ശ്രീ എ റഹീം, അവർ രണ്ടുപേരും സംസാരിക്കുന്നില്ല എന്നറിയിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അവരുടെ ആശംസകൾ അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. ഫോമർ കടകംപള്ളി സുരേന്ദ്രൻ and Rajya member A. Rahim, instead of speaking, they convey their best wishes to you. Now over to you. Professor Rumila, acceptance speech.
Can you hear me? Yes. At the back?